I remember the warmth of that kitchen as if it were yesterday. Soft, golden light spilled across the worn oak table where I sat waiting for my favorite leftovers. Grandma hummed softly as she spooned out fragrant rice, her wrinkled hands moving with a rhythm she practiced for decades. In that comfortable ritual, I felt held, safe from the world's sharp edges. Every spoonful tasted like tradition, like memories stitched together by laughter and stories that lingered longer than the dishes we shared. It was in those moments, with steam rising gently and sunlight dancing on ceramic plates, that I learned how food isn't just sustenance, but a testament to love and care. And yet what felt like the purest comfort carried a hidden risk many of us never consider. You might think reheating a simple plate of rice or a portion of chicken is harmless, yet for many seniors this common habit can lead to unexpected troubles. I recall one afternoon when Grandpa sat down for what should have been a gentle repast. Minutes later, his face grew pale and he clutched at his stomach. A minor hospital visit revealed food poisoning caused by lingering bacteria in leftover grains that hadn't been cooled or stored properly. In that moment, his steady hands and warm smile gave way to something fragile and uncertain. It reminded me how our bodies change with age, how our defenses weaken, and how the comfort of a reheated meal can sometimes betray us when we least suspect it. We learn early that reheating leftovers saves time, reduces waste, and fills our bellies without reinventing the wheel. But our golden years call for a new level of mindfulness, a gentle awareness of hidden dangers and routines that once felt safe. Some foods, when cooled and reheated, undergo chemical or bacterial transformations that make them risky to consume. Understanding these silent threats can protect our health and preserve our joy in cooking. Today, we will explore the foods you should never reheat, why they pose such a hazard, and how simple habits can keep us robust and worry-free. By the end of this journey, you will feel equipped, confident, and inspired to continue enjoying meals with the same warmth and care that filled my grandmother's kitchen. Mushrooms have a delicate cellular structure that breaks down after cooking. While a fresh sauté of button or shiitake mushrooms bursts with earthy aroma, leftover mushrooms can deteriorate quickly. Heat changes their proteins, and as they cool, they create a perfect environment for bacteria to thrive. When we reheat them a second time, those bacteria produce toxins that remain even after you apply more heat. The result can be a stomachache, cramps, or even nausea more severe than we expect. It may surprise us that something as harmless as a plate of mushrooms could become an agent of discomfort, but this transformation happens silently, hidden in the comforting warmth of a reused pan or microwave plate. Rice is another staple that seniors often rewarm without concern. In fact, Bacillus cereus spores can survive the initial cooking process. Once rice cools slowly at room temperature, those spores multiply and generate toxins. Heating rice in the microwave or on the stove does not eliminate these toxins, and consuming them can lead to pain, vomiting, or diarrhea. The safest approach is to cool cooked rice rapidly by spreading it in a thin layer and placing it in the fridge no later than an hour after cooking. If you plan to serve rice again, reheat it to piping hot, stirring throughout to ensure even temperature, and eat it promptly without leaving it to linger. Lean, protein-rich chicken also demands caution. While cooking eliminates most bacteria such as salmonella, improper storage invites new growth. Cooling chicken too slowly or leaving it in a warm environment encourages growth of harmful bacteria. Reheating that chicken to a gentle warmth may give it an appealing look and smell, but underheating fails to eradicate toxins already produced. Seniors, with immune defenses that naturally wane, are especially vulnerable. Always store cooked chicken in shallow, sealed containers and chill within 2 hours of cooking. Later, reheat only once, bringing the core to a rolling boil or an internal temperature of at least 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Divide leftovers into small portions so that each piece warms evenly. Leafy greens such as spinach contain naturally occurring nitrates that can transform into nitrites and nitrosamines when reheated. These compounds have been linked to digestive disturbances and may pose a risk over time. Freshly cooked greens offer abundant vitamins and minerals, but reheating them increases the chance of these chemical changes. Imagine a bowl of steamed spinach that cooled on the counter. The vibrant green fades as the molecules shift, inviting compounds that our bodies might struggle with, especially at a sensitive age. For the healthiest outcome, cook leafy greens fresh each time, Or if you must reheat, do so quickly and thoroughly the same day, avoiding repeated cycles of heat and cooling. Potatoes, especially when baked or boiled and stored at room temperature, can harbor spores of Clostridium botulinum, a serious cause of food poisoning. While reheating can kill surface bacteria, it does not destroy toxins already produced within. Seniors may notice faint nausea or a creeping fatigue after a plate of leftover potatoes, mistaken as indigestion or a mild flu. To play it safe, refrigerate potato dishes in airtight containers immediately after serving and consume them within 24 hours. If you reheat, ensure steam escapes by uncovering or venting lids, stir components, and heat until every part is steaming hot. When in doubt, consider preparing fresh potatoes to protect your well-being. Eggs are versatile and humble, yet their beautiful simplicity can mask latent hazards upon reheating. Dishes like quiches, frittatas, or deviled eggs contain eggs bound with dairy or oil. When these dishes cool slowly, bacterial growth can accelerate in the protein network. Reheating them gently can give a soft texture that lingers pleasingly on the tongue, but toxins may remain. Seniors tend to experience stronger effects from spoiled egg dishes, including digestive distress and weakness. If you prepare an egg-based meal, store it in the fridge soon after it stops steaming, ideally within 90 minutes. When reheating, raise internal temperatures swiftly to a safe level and avoid warming twice. Fish and shellfish spoil more quickly than other proteins due to their delicate tissues. When you bring cooked fish back to life with another turn on the stove or in the microwave, you gamble with histamines that form in fish left at unsafe temperatures. Stone crabs, shrimp, and even whitefish can develop a subtle off odor that many might miss. Yet those histamines can trigger allergic reactions or foodborne illness. For seniors with sensitive stomachs, this risk magnifies. Keep seafood chilled immediately, use it within 24 hours, and reheat only to steaming point once. Alternatively, incorporate fresh fish into daily meals, savoring it at the moment you bring it home from the store. While reheating tomatoes may seem harmless because they contain beneficial lycopene, the acidic nature of tomato-based sauces can alter metal containers or reactive cookware. If you store a tomato-rich dish in certain materials and reheat, you risk leaching unwanted elements into your food. Bell peppers, though less acidic, can soften excessively and harbor bacteria in their softened tissues when left too long. Seniors might find an upset stomach or slight metallic taste after enjoying reheated marinara or roasted peppers. To protect both taste and health, transfer acidic sauces into glass or ceramic containers, cool rapidly, and reheat thoroughly. Choose fresh vegetables when possible, and treat pantry staples like tomatoes with special care. It is possible that in focusing on hazardous foods, we overlook universal habits that protect every meal we reheat. Always cool cooked dishes quickly by using shallow containers or ice water baths. Never leave pans of soup or stew on the counter for extended periods. Label leftovers with dates so you know precisely how long they have rested in the fridge. Seniors can benefit from a routine check each evening, placing leftovers in designated spots in the refrigerator to avoid accidental forgetfulness. When it comes time to reheat, give yourself permission to take it slow. Use a food thermometer and aim for at least 165 degrees Fahrenheit throughout. A mindful approach is more empowering than rushed reheating. A small investment in a quality kitchen thermometer can safeguard every reheated meal. Insert it into the thickest part of leftovers and wait for the reading to stabilize. This ensures the core of your food reaches a temperature where bacteria cannot survive. Even if the edges of your dish feel warm, the center may remain cool in the microwave or slow cooker. For seniors, this bit of technology feels like a friendly helper, an unbiased guide towards safe eating. Place the thermometer in easy reach on a hook or magnetic strip, so you remember to use it each time. Celebrate every time the dial reaches a safe zone, knowing you have taken a simple step toward preserving your vibrancy. Dividing large amounts of food into smaller portions helps both cooling and reheating. A shallow container chills quickly, limiting bacterial growth, and warms evenly when you apply heat. Instead of a giant dish of rice or stew for the week, transfer serving size portions into individual glass dishes. Seniors who embrace this practice find they waste less food and feel more organized. On reheating day, you can pop just one portion into the oven or microwave, stirring gently to distribute warmth. This method not only protects against uneven heating but also adds a sense of ceremony to each meal. Taking a moment to prepare single portions becomes an act of self-care. Reheating with moist heat often yields better safety and texture for certain dishes. Place leftover soups, stews, or rice in a pan with a little water or broth. Cover it and warm gently on low heat. The steam circulates around the food, ensuring thorough, even heating. Seniors who prefer stovetop simplicity can stir occasionally, watching steam rise in gentle columns. In the microwave, cover containers with microwave-safe lids or damp paper towels. This traps moisture, prevents dry edges, and supports even heat penetration. Whether you choose stovetop or microwave, moist heat enhances flavors while reducing the risk of cold pockets where bacteria thrive. In this way, every bite warms your body and your spirit. We often hear that getting reheated food to the point of steaming makes it safe, but toxins produced before heating cannot be destroyed by temperature alone. In our golden years, we deserve a mindset that honors both convenience and caution. A single bout of foodborne illness can linger longer, sap our strength, and sideline our comfort. The myth that thorough reheating cures all threats can lull us into false security. Instead, view reheating not as a mere act of warming, but as a series of steps that begin with storage, continue with rapid cooling, and conclude with mindful heating. This mindset shift transforms reheating into a ritual of care, not just a chore. My neighbor Alice once shared how her Sunday roast made her feel ill 2 days later. She assumed the oven would protect her, but a small window of time on the countertop allowed bacteria to flourish. After that scare, she adopted a system of labeling, portioning, and temperature checks. Over months, she turned leftovers into treasures instead of risks. Hearing her story reminded me that each of us holds the power to rewrite our food practices. Seniors can support one another by swapping tips, calling to remind each other to chill dishes promptly, and celebrating when meals taste just as vibrant as when they were first cooked. We build resilience together. While reusing leftovers saves time, there is beauty in embracing fresh cooking more often. A handful of vegetables in the morning, a quick scramble for lunch, or a simple stir-fry can lift energy and lighten the load on our refrigerators. Seniors with love for tradition can still honor heritage dishes by preparing smaller batches or inviting a friend over to share. There is joy in the sizzle of fresh ingredients, in the aroma that fills the air and calls family to the table. When we cook fresh, we eliminate the guesswork of reheating hazards and find connection in the process. Fresh meals become invitations to mindfulness, gratitude, and a deeper appreciation of nourishment. It is natural to crave convenience, especially when days can feel long or energy is limited. Reheating meals affords time for reading, watching cherished shows, or resting before the next activity. Yet with a few mindful adjustments, seniors can balance ease and safety. Keep a handful of staples on hand for quick, fresh meals, pre-cut vegetables stored properly, whole grains you can cook in batches for turning into new bowls, and frozen proteins you thaw safely. Combine these ingredients for a vibrant soup, salad, or wrap without relying solely on reheated dishes. This balance nurtures body and soul, offering freedom without sacrificing health. Perhaps you feel a twinge of guilt if you have fallen ill after reheating a meal. Know that you are not alone and that change is always within reach. Small, compassionate steps, like placing cooked items in shallow bowls, snapping on tight lids, and storing them in the back of your fridge, protect your health in powerful ways. As we honor the wisdom of our years, let us also honor the wisdom of safe food practices. Each mindful act in the kitchen ripples into stronger bodies and clearer minds. Take a deep breath now, feeling gratitude for the gift of experience and the opportunity to adapt and flourish. By now you know exactly which foods warrant extra care: mushrooms, rice, chicken, leafy greens, potatoes, eggs, fish, and peppers. You understand why toxins and bacteria form, how temperature cycles matter, and which tools and routines support safe reheating. Remember these 4 pillars: cool fast, store correctly, portion wisely, and heat thoroughly. When doubts arise, choose fresh or limit leftovers to 1 meal and 1 quick reheating. Equip your kitchen with reliable storage containers, a food thermometer, and a friendly mindset that treats each meal as an act of self-respect. These simple practices become daily victories worth celebrating. As seniors, we carry a wealth of life lessons, and caring for our nourishment is one of the most vital. Every time you slow down to check the temperature, you honor yourself. Every time you prepare a small portion, you honor the gift of food. If a particular dish unsettles your stomach despite precautions, have compassion instead of frustration. Use it as feedback to refine your practices. Perhaps that taco salad cools too slowly in summer, or that stew tastes best when fresh. Lean into these insights. Let each plate teach you something new about your unique rhythms, preferences, and resilience. Food traditions weave families together, and sharing safe practices strengthens that bond. Teach children, grandchildren, or neighbors how to cool dishes quickly and check temperatures. Invite someone over for a cooking session focused on freshness and flavor. Imagine the laughter as you retell a near miss with reheated rice, followed by cheers when the thermometer finally reads safe. These moments turn cautionary tales into shared triumphs and infuse your home with stories that live on. In passing on knowledge, we nurture community and ensure that generations ahead carry forward both love and prudence in every kitchen. Never let the word safety mute your enjoyment. When mindful reheating and fresh cooking become habitual, you rediscover pure flavors and textures that delight. Picture mushrooms crisp and caramelized on the pan, rice fluffy and steaming on a fresh plate, chicken succulent straight from the oven. Notice the bright green of just wilted spinach, the deep caramels of baked potatoes, and the glint of fresh fish. These moments of sensory pleasure remind us why we cook and share meals in the first place. Safe habits free us to savor every morsel, inviting a renewed appreciation for life's simplest joys. In our later years, we grow ever more attuned to subtle signals from our bodies. A slight unease after a meal can alert us to lingering risks. Use this wisdom as a guide. If a certain reheated dish leaves you feeling off, trust your gut instinct and adjust. Perhaps that means preparing smaller reheating batches or trying a different container. Above all, remember that adaptability is a defining strength of senior life. We have learned, adjusted, and thrived through decades of experience. This is merely another chapter in which we integrate new knowledge to protect our vitality and extend our enjoyment of every sunrise. Turn reheating into a ritual of mindfulness. Begin by greeting your fridge like an old friend and honoring the leftovers you have. Slide open the door mindfully, let cool air brush your face, and choose a single portion. Feel gratitude for the meal that was cooked, for nourishment still present. Use your thermometer as a talisman of safety. Let steam rise as a renewing release of every worry about harmful bacteria. Stir gently, smelling familiar aromas. Then sit at your table with intention. These small acts transform routine into ritual, ensuring each reheated meal becomes an expression of self-care rather than mere convenience. Maybe you have stored mushrooms by habit. Perhaps you set a timer and still forgot to move a pot to the fridge. Today is an invitation to begin again, renewing your relationship with leftovers. No judgment, only gentle practice. Set reminders, place labels, and find joy in the process. As you refine your routines, track improvements in how you feel after each meal. Notice the crisp energy that comes from caring for your food safely. Appreciate the calm confidence in knowing your meals support your health rather than challenge it. This is a journey, and every small step counts. If you find these insights valuable, consider sharing them with fellow seniors in cooking clubs or community centers. Download printable tip sheets, host a small workshop, or simply chat over tea. When we gather to exchange stories, we surface hidden hazards and collective solutions. A friend might share her trick for cooling soup in minutes. Another might swear by brand of glass containers that seal tightly. These shared practices become a tapestry of wisdom we all contribute to. In community, we reinforce each other's efforts and create a culture of safety, flavor, and lifelong learning. Imagine the next holiday gathering where every dish arrives safe and vibrant, where family refrains from reheating risky foods and instead rotates fresh offerings. Picture laughing over a perfectly steamed vegetable medley, savoring chicken crisp just right, or delighting in a novel grain salad prepared that afternoon. You will find that the simple act of prioritizing freshness and safe reheating transforms celebrations, infusing them with ease and peace of mind. And when loved ones ask how you manage such vibrant meals, you can share your secrets with a smile, fostering health and happiness across generations. In every soft dawn, we have the power to choose how we nourish our bodies and spirits. By understanding which foods carry hidden risks when reheated, adopting mindful storage and heating habits, we chart a course toward resilient health. Let each meal remind you that your well-being matters, that safety and pleasure in the kitchen can go hand in hand. Embrace the wisdom of rapid cooling, precise temperatures, and fresh cooking. Celebrate small victories, gather with friends, and savor every taste. The price of neglect is illness, but the reward of care is boundless vitality. Here's to many more safe, delicious meals ahead.